ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to EKB TV. You're watching Vintage Cigar, and we're back. And this is another edition of Smoke Your Best Cigars. You can see I got a little bit of a smile on my face right now. Pretty much in a great mood, and the reason why is you can see I'm all dressed up, things like that. It's early in the morning here in North Carolina, but last night my daughter graduated from NC State, go Pack, and came all the way out to the United States, back to my home state of North Carolina to celebrate with my eldest daughter. And when you celebrate, you gotta really celebrate, especially an achievement like this. I was kind of a derelict in school, and to have my daughter to achieve what she's achieving right now, and to be the antithesis of what I was before I got into culinary school and kind of found myself as an adult. She's really motivated and impressing people and impressing me as a father. So there's my excitement on that. So I'm gonna light this cigar in celebration. Hope you guys are smoking your best cigars with me. Now, normally when I'm doing this show, the whole point of smoking your best cigars is just kind of smoking your best cigars anyway, regardless of whether you got a moment to celebrate. But this is an absolute special occasion for me. Like, I cannot tell you how ecstatic and proud I am as a father, first and foremost. I was a 19-year-old father. Man, that tastes like pretzels. Wow. Was not expecting that. Let me pause for a second here to show what cigar we're smoking today. We have the Julius Caesar in the Shark by J.C. Newman and Arturo Fuente. And this was given to me by Master Your Ash. Been holding on to this bad boy, homeboy. Thank you very much for this cigar. You know I really wanted it. Look how beautiful this cigar is, man. Look at the shape of the cigar. Look at how well it's burning, how well it's smoking already. Look at the body of smoke coming off of that. And that pretzel taste right away was, wow, outstanding. Mm. Mm. That's so good. Man, this would have been on my top 22 list, and I'm just getting started. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the top 10 list of 2022, the best and the worst. The worst is surely released already before this video comes out, and the best should be released very soon. I just gotta finish editing that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So good. So good. I was a 19-year-old father, and I wanted to be a father at a young age because I lost my father at a young age. But honestly, in American society, that's not the way to do it, especially, starting from the 90s on. Just being a 19-year-old kid trying to raise another kid, it's a very difficult thing, and it's not something easy to do. And I had my ups and downs. And my daughter and I, we had our ups and downs. But to see her at 23 being so much better of a human being than I was, and I was a good kid, don't get that wrong, but the level of maturity and growth that she has is astounding. And seeing her being able to excel the way she's excelling, and then for me to come all the way from Japan to come here just to watch her graduate, and the time that we've spent together, it's like having a best friend and seeing your child just be a great person is insane. And I know there were some things as a father that I instilled in her, and her mother did a great share of things. My mother, her grandparents, It takes a village, but I couldn't say that I did it all myself. But I am proud of who she is, and I'm proud of the work that I did as a parent. I don't know if any of you ever gone through that. I don't know if you've had like those rough ups and downs of being a parent and saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing or feeling like you didn't guide in the right place, or maybe you didn't set the best example, whatever the case may be. If you didn't spend enough time, maybe you were working too much, maybe you were far away, whatever the case may be. But to have it come out in the end, now that she's moving into adulthood, and to see that the relationship is still strong and that you raised a good person, man, it's the craziest feeling in the world. And it makes this cigar taste so much better. I gotta buy more of these. This is outstanding, man. I wouldn't say that this cigar is better than the Eye of the Shark or the Añejo, but damn if it ain't on the same level as those cigars. This is chocolatey. It has that bready pretzel taste. It's a little bit salty. Not getting a lot of pepper. It's not a long finish, but the initial taste on the palate is phenomenal. The smoke output is superb. It's up there with, a lot of the Drew Estates. The body of the smoke is smoky, meaty. It's fragrant. That bready note with that chocolate and the salt just goes together so well. Like, I might not even finish this video with you guys. Like, this is a celebratory cigar. I might just finish it up by myself. I just want to sit back and enjoy this. Man. I can't think of the name of that pretzel brand. It's in the brown bag and it has the green label on it. I can see it, but I can't think of the name of it. You guys can put it down in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. But that's the pretzel taste that you get with this cigar. This thing is absolutely beautiful, man. Look at that. That shark body. There's never going to be a greater Vitola than this. Never. Never ever. Anyway, back to my daughter, man. I didn't get to teach her how to drive, but I helped in it. My mom was a big help, being that, I wasn't always around. I have my own marriage, and she and her mother and I did not get along. Well, she and I did. Her mother and I did not get along very well. It made the relationship difficult, but we are cordial, we get along, we got by. But when my daughter was learning how to drive, I was helping her get some of the basics down and take some of the anxiety away. And going through that whole step of teaching her the patience to drive and the confidence to drive, and sharing that moment, like when you're just sitting in the passenger seat, and for her to tell me that that was the easiest lesson that she ever got, learning how to drive, was one of the, the biggest rewards. So I'm in North Carolina right now. I've spent so much money on Uber. I didn't rent a car, and she drove me home from her graduation last night, and she doesn't know like how grand of a feeling that was to see her confidently walk across the stage, accept her diploma. Diploma's coming in the mail, and the confidence she had, and she was like, "Dad, I'm gonna give you a ride back to your Airbnb." And just driving through the city that I grew up in, and to have my firstborn confidently driving, talking smack while she's driving, playing good music, and being in her car was special. And it was just a good feeling, man. Not that we haven't driven together or rode together before, but this was that coming of age moment. This was that moment where it's just like, you had me at this point in time. Now I got you. And that feels good. And she's got herself. She's developing her career. She's going to start her new job soon, making really good money to be, fresh off of getting her BA. I'm proud, man. Like, you guys have no idea, like, how proud I am as a pops right now. Like, I feel different, and it took a load off because I had a lot of anxiety about coming back home and being away for 3 years. It was a lot. She made it all better, just like the Cigar's doing. I didn't want to do the whole review thing. I didn't see what the blend was, or what the binder, filler, wrapper, and all that. I really didn't care, but I do enjoy getting these notes, getting fresh peanuts, bread, pretzel, chocolate. All of this is just kind of going together smoothly. It's not a lot of pepper. A little bit on the retro hell, some spice, but extremely balanced. And that's a beautiful burn. That's fantastic. But enough about that. To kind of segue with the driving, one thing that's been really interesting is being in the Uber. the first cat that I met here that drove me around was a British dude. He was from the UK. His soccer team was Liverpool, but he lived in Manchester, which was weird. I didn't expect. I don't know how that happened, but I don't know. I can't talk. I'm a Golden State Warriors fan. I'm from North Carolina, but saying that to say, he kind of reminded me of a YouTuber by the name of Simon Whistler. Looked just like him, had the same accent. And if you guys know YouTube, go check him out. He's a really smart British cat that does like a lot of different YouTube channels. Pretty interesting. If I didn't know better, I would have thought it was the same cat. But he and I had some great conversations, man, just kind of chopping it up. And he gave me my first 2 rides that was here. Like, he took me to my first location. And shortly after that, I had to call, to get back home. And he was there to pick me up again. So we kind of struck up a really short Uber friendship. A lot of people like to get in Ubers and not have a conversation at all. They don't talk. But me and this dude had a great conversation. I had fun. But what was weird, man, is I'm not used to driving on the right side of the road anymore. And I didn't know, like, how conditioned I had become to being in Japan. Like, I'm having panic attacks when when cars are driving on the left side coming towards me, because I'm thinking we're supposed to be on that side of the road, and I'm just, like, gripping the chair, like... It's funny when you think about it. I'm glad my daughter's here, able to drive me around, because I couldn't drive right now. It would take me some time to reacclimate myself to driving. And the roads here are so wide in North Carolina. There's so much space, there's so much openness. And even though, like, the Raleigh-Durham area that I'm in right now has grown significantly since I left North Carolina about, maybe over a decade ago or whatever. It's a completely different environment. But being in Japan with these tiny roads and these, tight spaces, and to be in this open spaces, it's a mind trip, man. I'm bugging out. But I don't know if you guys have ever driven Uber before. I did for a while when I lived in California, driving in San Francisco, driving in Fresno. And it's honestly one of the most fun jobs I ever had, because as you guys can see from this, I like talking to people, and I like learning new environments and, learning new places and just being able to explore. And you can do that and get paid. It's not the best on your car and all that kind of stuff, but the experience of, like, getting some stranger into your car and striking up a conversation and learning like this little blurb into somebody's life and then kind of having it just kind of disappear, and you just kind of get these little nuggets of knowledge and these little pieces of people and these little snapshots. It's kind of cool. And then to sit on the other side and be the person that, like, this guy just got a little snapshot of my life and what, what I'm about and why I'm here and all that kind of stuff. It's just a cool experience, man. And it kind of reminds me of doing the vintage cigar. But it's been so dope, man. It's been the growth of this channel recently and the amount of people that have been watching the show and subscribing and things like that. But the people who have been in the inbox lately, I wanted to do shout outs for some of the people that I've talked to recently, but I couldn't do it on this show because I don't have my computer with me, and like my memory is horrible, especially with this jet lag. But so when I do this again, I definitely have a lot of shout outs. It's just been kind of crazy to get these snapshots of making, new friends and new people, and just getting different people's perspectives on how they feel about cigars, or asking questions about Japan, or just asking about me, or telling me about their family and things like that, man. I love these little snapshots in the people's worlds. God damn, this is a beautiful cigar, man. If you ever had one of these sharp vitolas, I don't know how it's not your favorite cigar. I just don't. Like, a good Parejo is wonderful. I love a double Perfecto. And a Corona or a Lonsdale fits so well in hand. But nothing beats a sharp. You're not gonna change my mind on that. I can get that little sign that's like, guy with a coffee mug and like change my mind. You're not changing my mind about a sharp. Perfectly humidified. Wonderful burn. Look at that ash, man. Wow. I honestly think the only thing that would make this better would be to sit in a lounge. That pepper is growing now. The only thing that would be better is to actually sit in a lounge, in a nice lounge chair. I'm on the back of a patio in an apartment complex. It looks like the apartments I grew up in as a kid. It's kind of wild. It's not the most conducive to sitting back and smoking a cigar, but this environment that I'm in right now, like, you can't take my mood down. It could only go up. And it would be so much better just to sit in the lounge right now, to have some dope Miles Davis playing or something with a cigar, or to have my daughter sitting there. I don't know if she would go to a cigar lounge. I might ask her if she wants to go today. I think we're gonna go to a movie. We're gonna have coffee. We're gonna get some boba tea. It's funny that we like doing the same things, man. Like, she's just the girl version of me. Much smarter, much nicer. She's funny, and she's thoughtful, and I'm proud. So I just can't wait to sit back and have a cigar and some tea with her, man. If you guys get a chance, there's a guy named Eric, Afro Eric, or Black Tokyo on YouTube. Go find his channel. Phenomenal dude, talented, speaks Japanese, has a Japanese family. He's an entrepreneur, he's a comedian, man of many talents. Very brilliant guy. And he lives in my area and in Japan. I walk by him and see him all the time. So one thing that he does is he sells these Japanese jackets that are embroidered, and they have all these really cool designs. They're all over Japan. If you guys are familiar with Japan, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Can't think of the name of them, but he has his own line of these jackets. And I spent a good chunk of change on this coat, and I bought it for my daughter, and she loved it. And I haven't even got one of these coats for myself yet. But to see her light up and to wear the jacket, I can't wait to see her when she comes to pick me up later today. And I hope she wears it. It's kind of cold out here, so it might not work. It's just a jacket. It's not like a heavy coat. But that being said, to actually pick this gift out for her and to have her kind of like fall in love with it and to give her a little piece of Japan, and hopefully next year or later this year, well, technically next year when she gets her passport, she's coming out to Japan. I get to show her all around and take her to all these anime, places, and maybe the Fuji. She wants to go up to Hokkaido, and we're just gonna do all this super nerdy stuff, man, and walk around Japan. It's nice to give her a little piece of that world, and to kind of share something, that there was a person of color in Japan with all this talent that made something, and to support his business and also to give back to my daughter at the same time. It's just a win, man. I just feel like this is win after win after win right now, and I'm just happy with just how things are going. I got a long trek. I'm gonna be in the United States for a full month, so I'm not going back until next year. And I haven't been in America this long. I came back briefly to bring my kids here for the summer this year, and spent some time in New York, spent some time in North Carolina. My kids had a great time, but this is the first time I've really been able to kind of reacclimate myself to the United States. It's going to be a wild trip, but I hope it continues to go this way. I didn't have any weird hiccups with my flight. My plane wasn't crazy. Plane ride was dope. It was comfortable. The people I was sitting next to was dope. I got to watch Top Gun. So I watched the original Top Gun. I'm a 42-year-old man, and I've never seen the original Top Gun. I watched that on the plane, and then watched Top Gun Maverick right after that. I thought I was going to hate both of those movies. They're actually pretty dope. The original Top Gun is kind of weird the way it's edited. It has that weird choppy 80s feel, and it feels like the movie moves along like really fast. And I kind of feel like Top Gun Maverick kind of changed all of that. They kind of updated the editing but still kept the same feel. But it was a really great movie, man. And I know Tom Cruise is a weirdo, but the dude did a great job in both of those movies. And the way they connected the stories, the way they kept the flight patterns up. I know nothing about flying. I'm not a military dude, though I work for the Navy. It was kind of weird to see like some of the stuff that I've been living in this movie. But I was captivated, man. I watched both of them all the way through on the plane, didn't fall asleep. It kind of kept me going on that long ass plane ride. So the first plane ride was from Japan to Dallas. So that was 11 hours. And I think that was the flight that I actually watched it on. So that last leg of the plane, I just spent, almost 4 hours watching those movies. A little bit under that. Did a little mini movie marathon back to back. I don't know how you guys feel about that movie, man, but I actually thought it was good. And I'm a tough critic. I'm really tough on movies, especially movies that are meant to be blockbusters and reboots. Excuse me, I inhaled some of that smoke. I really don't like a lot of the reboots. Sometimes I think like if you got a classic movie, just leave that classic movie alone. I do not agree in this particular case. Fantastic. It was just a great movie, done really well. I hope I'm not smoking this too fast. There's my ashes just dropped. But I'm enjoying every second of this. Like, this is a real celebration. Man, that meaty flavor, that chocolate, that pretzel. I kind of expected to get more of like a fruit flavor in there. I'm not getting that at all. Maybe a little bit of a citrus peel in there, smidge, but smoothness of the cigar, man. That's nice. That's so good. Not too many cigars are gonna beat that. One last and really random thing that you can see that I just did there. I talk with my hands a lot. And that sucks in the editing process when I'm doing these videos. I never realized how much of a headache that was. So like if I'm trying to do like a seamless cut, and if I mess up or if I pause too long, or whatever the case may be, and I'm talking with my hands and my hands are changing positions the whole time. I got like rapper hands. It's really kind of frustrating to me. And I wonder how much I bug people out with that. But I noticed there's somebody else who's worse than me talking with their hands. And that's DJ with Pick Jimmy. That brother's all over the place. And I love it. And I finally I got a kindred spirit that has to emote and to show every movement and every section of what he's saying with his hands. I'm glad I'm not the only one. But I realized that in Japan, that's not a common thing. So I wonder how much I actually stand out when I'm there. Because when I'm trying to convey, I already have to point and illustrate things because I don't speak the language very well. But when I am actually having a conversation, especially if I'm animated and I'm talking with friends, these things are chopping down trees. It's like Fist of the North Star. You guys ever see that animated, the original one from the 80s? When a man would slice and he would have the lasers cutting buildings and shit like that. I always thought that would be my power, if I had superhero powers or some weird shit like that. That's just how this random brain works, but that's one of these things that I do. When you're watching your own videos and you're checking out yourself and seeing how you're looking on camera and you're seeing how you edit and all those different things, and you're trying to learn how to be more presentable, more natural on camera. That's one of the quirks that I notice. And I also notice a lot of my verbal tics that I have. I've been trying to edit those out, and it's been kind of frustrating. So I know you guys probably catch on to a lot of that. And if you remember early when I used to do I Want to Smoke, I would start some of those shows by mimicking and doing my impersonation of some of the other cigar reviewers that were popular at the time. And I would notice a lot of their little verbal tics and their body language and their mannerisms and things like that. I study people just kind of in general. So I wonder if people have kind of picked that apart. If anybody had done an impersonation of me, I would love to see what that would look like. It would probably be horrifying, but at the same time, it's like a curiosity to me that I know it's a lot of people who have been following me from the early days and a lot more people who have been commenting on the show. You guys have become familiar with me to a certain extent. You guys know my voice, you know some of my habits, you know my favorite cigars, you know all of these different things, especially from these videos. You learn a lot about my personal life to a degree. I just wonder how I come across to other people. People don't see you the way you see yourself. I'm on the inside looking out and vice versa. Even when I'm looking to this camera, it's still it's a different person speaking with my voice, if that makes sense. Anyway, it's been about 30 minutes on Smoke Your Best Cigars. I'm gonna throw this up unedited. Hope you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the show, enjoyed the little conversation, a little glimpse into my world, while I'm in America, being back here. Guys, give a shout out to my daughter. I love you, Erica. You dope. You're just a great human being. I'm proud of you as your dad. So, guys, give her a shout out. Give her some congratulations. Show her some love. And put some positive energy out there that she gets the job that she has had 2 interviews for, that she should be starting very soon. Thanks for watching the show, man. Thanks for sitting back, celebrating with me and my family. And I got some more of these Smoke Your Best cigars coming while I'm in America. I'm gonna do a few of these. I was gonna try to get to a cigar lounge while I was here in Raleigh, but I don't think that's gonna happen. If I do, I'll definitely record that and put that out. I doubt I'll be doing any reviews while I'm here. I think what I'm gonna stick to is the top 10 list. Got some really cool things, and I'm gonna do the VCAs coming up very soon. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching the show, guys. I really appreciate y'all. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate all the support for the Vintage Cigar. You guys have been super duper dope with the polls, with the comments, watching the videos all the way through, hitting the like button. You guys have been phenomenal, man. And for those of you who are sending out cigars to me, you guys know how tough this YouTube thing is. I thank you. You're generous and you're dope, and it means a lot to me. Shout out to Steve Saka for sending out the box, watching the show, spreading the channel. Major shout out for that. I don't know, man. I'm gonna sit back and enjoy the rest of this. Y'all stay cool, keep smoking, and be kind to your neighbors all over the world. Peace.